conference finals championship in 27 years. And whether they're going 1973, the last title, they're throwing out all these stats last night. And I'm like, kind of close to some of the stats we're dealing with if you're a Dolphin fan. I couldn't help it. I mean, that 26-year thing is just like, let it go, put it to bed. There's nothing you can do. Don't bring it up. There's no reason to bring it up. There's nothing you can do about it. Let these guys go. Let it go. What did it cross your mind when you saw that, when he's doing the first conference finals? And
weirdly enough, yes, it did, yes.
1973 is the last title, and congratulations to, by the way, great story. And
anytime there's a great drought, yes, it does.
We're in one of the great droughts right now in professional sports.
Yes,
we are.
Yes.
And so anyway,
that's bad. We need to get one of those so we can stop thinking about that. But.
Yeah. No, listen. But anyway, hey, man, this Knicks thing and the way they all of a sudden started playing, and I just remember during the year, especially since half the guys that do the ESPN shows are like huge New York fans, so we have to deal with that watching those shows, which I watch a lot of, and they're like up and down on this Knicks team and all the things that happen. Mike Brown probably doesn't get enough credit for coming in, and all of a sudden, all the role players of and this guy, remember they traded and they gave away too many first rounds, and now all of a sudden he's one of the key pieces. They got a lot of guys playing well, starting with their point guard who has just been fantastic. But they swept the Cavs. Woody, I felt like after they blew that 22-point lead in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes and change left, 22 on the road, should have had it. Matter of fact, within like 2 or 3 minutes of probably resting guys, both teams, resting starters and going, all right, we lost game one. And here they are getting swept. And they got kicked around. James Harden, was glad to see James Harden 2 for 8, 12 points, 0 for 6 on 3 points. And once again, one of the few point guards that on a regular basis seems to have more turnovers than made field goals. So he was back at it last night. And didn't think, he didn't think he played poorly and thought his defense was okay. And I'm like, wow. And I've learned playing with guys like that too. And honestly, instead of taking, like I got to play better, and a lot of guys beat themselves up. And I did have teammates that were like, hey man, it's over. Yeah, I didn't play great, but who cares? I'm moving on. Next time we play, I'm gonna be going after some people, and they let it go. You guys don't worry about it, and don't worry about like, oh, film study's gonna be a bad one on this one. So what? Got the next game, everybody will forget. So anyway, Have
you seen some of the numbers with this James Harden thing? He's played 191 playoff games without a championship. That's 2 behind Karl Malone for most ever.
I didn't know that many.
They also most playoff wins without a title, 98. That ties him with Karl Malone for that stat. So, yeah, James Harden making all sorts of history.
I'm guessing Karl Malone feels a little bit better about
losing to MJ.
Losing to MJ.
Instead of losing to Jalen Brunson.
And listen, we should never mention Karl Malone and James Harden together ever again as one of the great power forwards in the NBA. Not one of the most liked guys, but one hell of a big body guy. He and John Stockton, that was a hell of a party for a while.
A lot of weird talk from the Cavs over the last few games. Like, we're basically like we're happy to be there, and we're the better team.
We did get some weird stuff from the head coach when he decided he was going to analytics and winning games through the analytics party. And I was like, oh boy, we've taken this analytics thing way too far when we now have coaches coming out and the key analytic stats, we won this game. And everybody's looking at him going, let me check the standings again. let me check where this series is right now. And we should be up 2-1. You're like, what? No, you're down. The record is, man, like, hey, whoever came up with that, you are what your record says you are. That's what you are. well, we feel good about the way we played. Can't feel that good. Can't feel that good when you blow. Hey, listen, choking in a way the way they did, that will go as one of the ones that people will be talking about, I'm guessing, in Cleveland for a long time, because that 22-point lead, as I mentioned before, with 7 minutes and change left, up 22 in the fourth, with the guys you have, should not happen. Should not happen. Anyway, besides that, we've got all kinds of stuff to get to. By the way, the Marlins, after looking a little shaky against the Braves, who have just been unbelievable. Great year for the Atlanta Braves. Great start their season. The Marlins go out and sweep the Mets 4-0, 4-1, and 2-1. Mets did not look good and continue to look, for the amount of money they're spending, horrible. And they go up, start the 9-game road trip in Toronto, get their 4th straight win, as Woody just said in his sports update. Get 8-2 win there. So hey, man, they just went, here they go. No, they come right back and start trying to knock on that door, getting back to 500 again. We got Canes baseball. Congratulations, as they'll be heading to playoffs and up in Gainesville for the regional playoffs up there. So we'll have the coach on a little bit later on, and we'll talk to J.D. Arteaga a little bit about his team as they get set for a few days from now into the week. They'll be up in Gainesville, and that Florida Gator team is really good, as they already know from playing them early in the season. But besides that, a lot of other stuff. Got all this Heat news going out there right now. Didn't even mention San Antonio and OKC. What a great series this has been. 2-2 right now, best of 3 left in this one. And then on top of all of that, we've also got some Dolphin stuff. OTA start up here for a couple of days starting today. And so we got a lot of stuff going on that we're going to be jumping on this morning. Hey, Woody. So Marcel from the ESPN Dolphins Insider. I'm watching that. Listen, man, I know guys got to come up with stuff, and we got the OTAs going on, and everybody's got their opinion on what you should add or what you should do. And hey, listen, man, you got to write stuff. I get it. And this is where the really good writers and people who follow that team for a living, this is where they earn their money, because you got to come up with stuff. We hit what'd we do? A couple days on leadership, and way too early to worry about leadership, except the head coach loved it. Well, and usually those guys, the GM and head coach, really love the way they run things and the things they say for right now. And again, it's a good start for them, considering the situation they're in, what they have, and everything else. So Marcel from the ESPN Dolphins Insider, who covers the team down here, does a good job, does a really good job, and a really good guy. He's got the team at 500, and it's fine. You look at and he says they'll go 4-4 at home. And they've got a tough schedule. It looks like on the Dolphins' home schedule, it looked like to me the league said, let's let them play against 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in football. They got Mahomes and Burrow and Drake May and Goff and Caleb Williams and Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. I mean, I might have named without, you're going, oh, Joe, you just made that up. No, that's their home schedule with the teams that they're going to play. They're facing some guys that pretty damn good, from the end of their careers, really good, to the only thing I think I left out was Matthew Stafford in that group of top guys. And I just want to say this morning. If Jeff Hafley and this football team go 8-9 or 9-8, that man's going to get a lot of votes for Coach of the Year. They're starting from scratch. And from time to time, and we got Omar wanting to add this guy and add this 30-year-old player and add this 33-year-old guy. And Omar, he knows the situation with money. Hell, he brings it up. You know the situation. And by adding a couple of those guys, which they may do, how much better are you really going to be this season by adding. How much better are we going to be at a guy and the guys that are out there? Either, I mean, there's a lot of different things. Either they don't want to be in camp, and we picked up a lot of guys last year after camp had started. Some of them end up being really good players. But that team was in it to win it last year. They were in it to playoff win it. That's what the front office sold to the owner of this team. Oh, no. We feel pretty good. We've added this guy, and we're going to add this guy, and just patched it in here real quickly at the end on some cheap free agents and got them. They're not going to do anything that's going to bring in veterans until they know exactly what they have with young guys getting a chance. And I don't mean a chance in preseason. I mean a chance to play. If they see signs of it, they're going to play those young guys. And so, but if it happens and this team, again, goes 8-9 or 9-8, that's 500. That would be, and I'm not big on trying to sell people this stuff. I mean, you are starting from scratch at a lot of positions. Now a lot of them may end up being really good real fast, and some may get a lot better late in the year, and some guys may not just pan out. Oh, got to move on from that. But, man, if you can get a read, I mean, these guys are learning each other's names right now, trying to figure out where to line up. They've all come from this is weird to say, we got a lot of guys coming from different systems that are completely different on offense and defense, so that makes it a lot more difficult when all of a sudden the colors are different, the numbers mean different things, and the key words are things you've never heard before and completely different a system you've been in college or in the pros. So for people already coming out and deciding, and again, I get it, man. But boy, that's being super positive right now. That is. And by the way, when you want to look ahead, and you are, because everybody apparently in my life has looked at the schedule, and I got people going, oh, what do you think this game? I'll tell you what, Raiders week 1, one of the best chances you have to win a game. Raiders week 1. Now I can go to the Jets, and when you play the Jets and all that things, and we'll see what they look like. By the way, I didn't even mention Geno Smith's quarterback with the Jets now. But, yeah. So, yeah, I looked at the Raiders week 1. They've struggled. Good time to jump on them if you come out of preseason ready to go. And I'm guessing we're going to treat our preseason a little different than everybody else. Our preseason is going to kind of be important to all those young guys. You know, nobody's talked about that. Usually you rest a lot of guys, and Mike rest a lot of guys, and they played very little. I think our guys are going to be real active in the practices with other teams, and I think they're going to play a lot of preseason football to get ready. And then you got depth. I mean, you look at the front line guys, and they have depth charts that are probably pretty accurate that are out on who will play or who's going to get playing time and who might rotate and all those things. But how about the backups? How about the reality of 10 to 12 guys going to be injured this year and will go on IR? What's the back end of your roster practice squad going to look like? Because those practice squad guys, going to be a lot of them, going to be on this 53-man roster before you know it. So anyway, I just wanted to, and again, this was not a shot at Marcel. He's just the first one to come out and say, hey, I think the team's got a chance to go 500, and they're going to go 4-4 at home. And I was like, okay. I can tell you right now, I'll take 4-4 at home. I haven't seen anybody play. I don't know how healthy other teams are going to be coming to town. But I saw Mahomes, Burrow, May, Goff, Geno, Caleb, Justin Herbert, and Josh Allen. Man, that's a pretty good group. Just starting at the quarterback. Now, quarterbacks don't play, both sides of the ball, but we do know how important the quarterback positions are. Hey, and anyway, we'll have more on the Dolphins a little bit later on in the show. I didn't mean to get carried away on all that here coming back. I see Messi's injured. Did the fans boo him, or did they turn on him when he had to walk off the field, or do they feel better now? Are feelings all right, Woody? How are we doing?
I think we're okay, Joe. Yeah, I think they had their meeting
Everybody's good?
last week. Well, they had a meeting, which, by the way, I've never heard of this happening before.
Me neither.
So this was all new while you were gone. Very unusual
Well,
stuff.
I got to live it for a couple of days, and just the more I read about it, I was like, Messi must even be saying, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, just to give you like the two sides of this thing, there's a lot of people that think, hey, the fans need to grow up a little bit and
So it's not. I
not
thought
worry so
I
much
thought
about
the whole fan base was like Messi owes us, like he needs to
No.
stay 10 minutes after every game and blow kisses
Well, that's the
to
supporter
us.
group. They, so some people are like they need to grow up. I think some people are like Messi can just wave, which is kind of like where I was, but I don't know, man. It was just an unusual stuff because I've never heard any of this stuff happening. Like this is all new to me. I'm not a soccer guy, so this is all kind of new.
Forget the league, forget the MLS. We'll come back and talk about this, but this guy is playing at a high level. He's been playing hard, apparently getting himself ready for the World Cup because he's really pumped about playing for his country. And why not? He's playing great. He's dominating. He's giving you, if somebody would have told me, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he came over here and is still playing at this level. And by the way, I mean, he could have gained 20 pounds and gone out there and just kind of played 15, 20 minutes a night and sat over on the side. And they could have used him going around to sell tickets. But guy's doing it on the field, man. He is last year's best player. This year, he's been the best player, hell, since he got here. Man, what is it, 4-4? Scoring goals like crazy at half. Anyway, right now I want to talk to you about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. Never too early in the morning to talk, especially for all the guys getting up early. Got a long, long week. You're working. Matter of fact, you're working through the weekend here. And you need a truck you can really depend on. I want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. Man, I want to let you know when it comes to a rugged Colorado to the highly capable Silverado 1500, maybe the powerful Silverado HD. Whatever it is, man, we got a truck absolutely perfect for you. And I do know some of you guys out there get up early in the morning. You're working. You work for yourself. This is how you make a living, and you need a truck as durable as you are because you don't stop working until the job is done. That means Saturday and Sunday sometimes. Well, we got a truck for you that you can count on every day. You need some heavy lifting trucks, we got it for you. You need a bed that can work like you do early in the morning to late at night. We've got a truck absolutely perfect for you. Hey, it might be a truck, get the kids around. It might be a truck just to have fun with all the toys you have on the weekend, whether it's wave runners or that boat towing it, all the power you could ever want. Hey, not only that, but Suburbans, Tahoes, the Traverse, the Equinox, man, we got something for everybody. So, hey, before you decide to buy, shop around. We got 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed when you take that test drive for an SUV, a truck, or a car, and definitely when you sit down and get a great deal. And that's what they're offering right now. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on right now. If it's going down, you know it.
beyond Northwest 79th Street. That has a center lane blocked. At Broward, you're looking good. No major issues. That's traffic. Amelia Escobar on FM 1043, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the Casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at CasinoDaniaBeach.com.
Time for your weather report, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. It is 81 degrees and a 6% chance of rain. And Joe, before we get back to the show here, we have a really good giveaway this week.
What do you have?
Doing the rest of the week here. Sebastian Maniscalco is coming to Hard Rock Live in November. We've got a chance for you to win a pair of tickets, and we are throwing in a Stoner's Pizza. So we'll have tickets to that, and you get a pizza.
What kind of pizza?
Whatever you want. Stoner's Pizza. That's the name of the place, yeah.
Oh, because when I was a kid, they used to go, the stoners are over there. They're all stoned out of their minds.
Yeah.
No, nobody says that anymore. I haven't heard stoners in a long time.
No, but those are really good tickets.
The jocks stayed away from the stoners.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I know you have no idea who that is, but
no, you can't go by me.
No, he's a comedian. He's really good. I actually think you would like him a lot, Sebastian Maniscalco. But we'll have tickets for that the rest of the week. Yeah. That show very well may be sold out. I have no idea, but
yeah, it's funny when you were saying that, and I went to dinner with some friends in my town I grew up in, and we're talking about. We're all at that age, and so Joe, what do you? I always get this. So, what do you enjoy doing when because you're so heavily involved in sports for a living. What do you? And I go, I watch sports. What do you do in your spare time? What do you guys like to do? Watch sports.
You watch the thing on the bottom screen right now, a little tennis action, right? This is live, I assume, right?
It is, man. Okay. This was a year ago. I was over there, man. Yeah, a year ago, I got to go to the French Open. Yeah. Talk about being married to a bum. Jeez.
You're all right.
No, man.
Everyone likes the French Open.
No, it's just the overdose of liking every sport, man. I like watching guys compete. I love watching the women compete in this. And
they got out west, though. That time difference is like
killer.
And that's amazing.
I did 3 shows out there, and it's really weird that I had to travel almost an hour to get to the studios, which are really nice out there from our company on the West Coast. And I was getting up at between 11:30 and 12 o'clock.
Yeah. You're nuts.
That's nights you go to bed after watching a game out here.
Yep.
So
that's not ideal, but to have the games on, what do they come on at 4:30?
No, it's
4?
Great. Hey, man. You eat dinner, you sit around.
Yeah, baseball at 9 a.m. out there.
Hey,
right?
By the way, so we're big Giants fans, San Francisco Giants fans, who, by the way, have one of the worst teams in the National League right now. But so those guys play at 7 at home, but actually when they're on the road, they're playing it. The games come on at 4.
Yeah,
3:40.
That's nice.
And you're like, this is unbelievable. Got a game on and be over before you eat dinner out there. Yeah, that 3 hours. And I totally, for people who lived out there or out on anywhere out in the West Coast there, the 10 a.m. starts for football games in the morning. That's a game changer, man, right there, right? 1 o'clock games, your second game of the day.
Well, it's like those, we get a couple of those a year, right? Those like London games that come on at 9 a.m. here.
Oh, yeah, but out there.
6 a.m.
6 a.m., man.
Perfect.
Getting up for the game.
Nice early start in football.
Hey, what's going on over there? All right, 6 o'clock start in the morning.
I love that.
I didn't make my coffee yet. I'm ready to go to watch the first game.
You get out to Vegas, and there's 9 a.m. baseball.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful.
Well, anyway, Woody, we've got all kinds of stuff going on here, and I am excited to watch the World Cup. I am, and I know the ticket and they jacked the prices up and everything, but I kind of grown to watching this World Cup and seeing Who won? Last time Messi's team. We forget last time out for the World Cup. Argentina won. Messi played great. That's why I thought we'd never see him. I thought that would buy him. He'd never come over here, and ends up coming over here and got a 6-4 win over Philadelphia. I guess he's okay, by the way. Just reading reports on his injury because he did leave in the 72nd or 73rd minute of the game and got out. And they're saying it was just fatigue, muscle fatigue. They got all kinds of different stuff in that sport. Muscle fatigue. Said he didn't pull anything. It was just muscle fatigue. He felt it. And he's 16 days from the World Cup and wants to be ready for the friendlies and everything else leading up to it before Argentina tries to repeat, which is they're one of the favorites, but I don't know if they're as good as some of the other teams over there that you watch. But it's fun, man. It's even if you're the only event you watch and you're not a hardcore fan, I just think you're now getting all the best players leaving their clubs and going back to play for their country. Spain and France and England and Germany and all the other countries that have had great soccer, and see how it goes. It's crazy. You know what's wild? I guess Italy hasn't made this thing. Like, that's their sport, man. Can you imagine it's your sport and you're that bad at it? Like, ever. I don't know how many good Italian players are on the world and how many are playing on different clubs all over and all these different leagues around the world, especially in Europe. But man, that's a strange one for sure. So we got OTAs coming up today. Couple more days. I think we got OTAs this week. I believe we still have a mini camp early in June, and then it's going to be vacation time for the players as coming back, and then it will count for sure. So learn this offense. And Malik's everybody's talked about Malik and what he should do, and Malik Willis, I'm talking about the quarterback. Hey man, learn your offense, learn what your receivers can and can't do, speed, route running, build up timing and communication with them so everybody's on the same page. He didn't have to worry about all the other stuff and taking over. I mean, this is brand new, and I know it's new for the fan base too, because people want to know how many games we're going to win and all those things. And I'm like, look at, man, this is brand new to me, what they've done, what they had to do with all this dead money, which has led to this roster. We got a lot of guys. Probably half this roster is going to be guys haven't played a lot of football in the NFL. And they're going to have to play. This team is going to play a lot of young guys. This is not, I don't see him picking up like 7 veterans to come in and patch it in because of their experience and everything else. And by the way, some of those guys played really well last year for the Dolphins. There were some great stories of guys that they signed that had really solid seasons. They weren't the reason we didn't have a better record. They weren't the reason. There were a lot of guys. But this situation is so different than last year. We're not hiding from what we really are and what we have and what we need to do. We've been very honest. Now, some fans still aren't hearing it. That's what I've noticed. Some fans still like, hey, I know we're going to play, but hey, we have a chance to win games and they're going to be competitive in some games. They might get blown out. Hell, we got blown out in 6 games last year. So people go, are we going to get blown out? I go, we got blown out in 6 games last year. 6 games. Anybody want to go back to what happened at halftime where the games were close and what happened in the third quarter? Those are some of the worst third quarters in the history of this franchise. Woody, we're going into fourth quarters of games go down 20, 21 points. The games were over. You're going, do we even have, can we get the ball enough in the second half to even have a chance to win? That Steelers game, oh, God, was that bad, right? Tight ball game. Looked like it might be a low-scoring game. And then, man, came out. Mike's up there saying, I don't know what happened. We got to go back and reevaluate what's happening at halftime with adjustments and all those things. So, yeah, just in case everybody has a short, and trying to figure this out. And hey, man, it's we're all going to see. But we've never done since I've been here anything like this. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, Brian Flores, and we got a lawsuit because of this whole thing and telling them we need to lose games to get a higher pick and all those things. Listen, that team won a lot of games after getting hammered. What was the first 3 games, Woody? It was the Ravens and the Patriots for sure. We were outscored like 90 or 80, 90 to whatever, a few points we scored. That's when Steve Young came out and said, this is terrible. Some of those guys shouldn't be playing in the league. That guys are going to get hurt. Then all of a sudden, but they went 7 out of 9 or something at the end of the year, and we're flirting to try to get back close to 500. So, but there were a lot of older guys on that team. There are a lot of veterans. As soon as you bench Josh Rosen, things got a lot better. So anyway, this brand new, man. This brand new.
It's brand new, but we talked about this while we were gone. This season to me is very intriguing.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be fun.
Season,
I agree.
When we sat here last season, I think we kind of all felt that this was just like, we're doing this again. We're running this back again. It's why, the result's not going to be any different.
We felt that way. We felt that way, but they were selling, the head coach and GM.
Yeah, they were selling a load of crap.
Right.
But there was no intrigue going into last season. When we were sitting here in, May and June, it was like, all right, well, Tua's coming back and Mike is coming back and Chris is picking the players again. And it was just kind of stale. Yeah. At least this year you have some stuff.
I agree, Woody. It's a great call.
Can these guys draft?
Yeah.
That would be question number 1. Can Malik Willis play? That's question 1B.
Well, that's one. That's 1 and 2 right there. You just hit 1 and 2.
There's a lot of intrigue. I think the first round pick is very intriguing.
Yeah.
How good is he going to be?
That's probably
is he
number
come
3.
Into camp, looking.
Well, can he
the way
play?
He should.
He's not going to abuse that. Can he play?
The Ruben Bain thing is intriguing.
Okay, well now you're going to another team.
I know, but that's going to be the comparison.
That can't help us win games. He's gone. So that you just went off the road a little bit. You were doing great. I love your first 3.
Thank you.
First 3, whatever order, those are it. I agree.
Think there's some stuff that at least this season has.
How good are your 2 number 1 picks going to be? Let's start with that. How good are the first 2 days of the draft that you have those guys? What kind of impact can they have early and during the year? So all those things. But this is built a lot on last year's draft, which they had nothing to do with, and this year's draft. But there's a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year. If there's one good thing that happened last year, by the end of the year, they were playing every draft pick. And I've never seen that. I've never seen every draft pick, including your 7th round quarterback and your 7th round defensive tackle. They were playing a lot of football late in the year. Hell, Quinn Ewers started the last 3 games of the year. We got to go to break here, Woody. We got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on. And the Knicks, man, what a story. Just absolutely just destroyed Cleveland.
We got to get the arrest count last night. I don't know if you saw the celebration they had out there in New York.
Oh,
people climbing poles and all that kind of good stuff.
Wait a sec. They're supposed to do that when you win the championship, not get to the championship. They're jumping the gun a little bit.
Don't do that.
No. They jumped the gun. They jumped the gun, Woody.
No. The Dolphins made a Super Bowl. People would be climbing poles here, and you'd be fine with it.
If they got to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
I would come on right now if that ever happened. Well,
you'd climb a pole. You'd probably that electric pole right outside.
Actually, if that would have happened and I was coming into work, I'd have been doing some drinking last night. It would have been bad news.
Yeah.
It would have been Woody.
Don't get on them too much for celebrating, but you just got to learn how to do it without getting arrested. That's the key.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, hey, let's talk about something very important. This is a good news, bad news. I hope you never get hurt. But reality is, if you're active and competitive in sports, team or individual sports, you're going to get injured. Your kid's going to get injured. You're going to get injured. Your wife's on the tennis league. She's going to get injured. They happen. Crazy things happen, but it is really nice to have one of the top sports medicine programs in the country right here in our backyard. You do not have to go and call somebody from another state because you want to go to the best. You have the best right here. Baptist Health South Florida Sports Medicine Program is fantastic. They've gone, and now how do you become one of the tops in the country? People have, well, since you're saying that all the time, well, you go out and hire the top specialist, and a lot of them for the knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. They got doctors that just specialize in all those, and they're really good. A lot of them have been all over the country to come here to South Florida and work in Dade and Broward. They take care of Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, FIU, FAU. A lot of our sporting events down here have Baptist Health South Florida doctors ready to go. Great team doctors and a great facility. You got to have great facilities. You got to have them more than one place, and boy, do they. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium right next to the training facility in 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day, and they're going to see all of us. One goal is get you back out playing the sports you love the most.
79 degrees this morning. This afternoon, mostly sunny and a high of 91.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had a little bit of time off with their family for the Memorial Weekend and got a chance to remember what it's all about as well. But as we say good morning to everybody here, got a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to get all caught up on all of it. All of a sudden, the Marlins have won 4 in a row, and boy, not giving up. A lot of runs. What are they giving up now? 4 runs in their last 4 games. So the pitching's been great, and some timely hitting and great stuff going on with them to after last 3, they got beat up pretty good by the Braves, and then to be able to flip it around here against the Mets, and good start to against Toronto on this long road trip that they're on right now. And we got Giannis Antetokounmpo we have not talked about, and the Heat obviously making an offer, and a lot of people think they got a real good chance to get him. Now people are saying, well, that 13th pick's got great value that the Heat have for the draft next. How much you going to give up, and what do you have to give up? And you have to give up Khalil Ware, or can you keep him, and all these things. So we'll come back. We'll talk about that as well with Tyler Hero, obviously always throwing in every deal that comes up. And we'll talk more about tonight. San Antonio and OKC series tied at 2-2. Man, has it been unbelievable. Physical, grabbing. You could foul every guy out in that game if you want, the way they're going after each other, trying to let them play. Did call a lot of fouls the other night. But anyway, we'll have more on that. And besides all that, we've got Dolphins OTAs. We'll get you caught up with that as well. They'll be having a couple of practices starting today. And before you know it, we'll be in summer camp and ready to go. And practices and everything else. And people will be able to go out there and watch it for themselves. So we'll get caught up with that. Kyle Krabs will join us a little bit later on. And we also know the baseball Canes are going to the playoffs. They're going to go to the regionals in Gainesville. We'll have J.D. Arteaga on with us and talk to him a little bit about his team as they'll play Friday night. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. Great stuff in the playoffs, as I said. So anyway, we'll take a quick break and get all caught up here for the 7 o'clock hour. Before we do, I want to take a moment to talk to you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Hurricane season is here, man. It's about ready to start. And I just want to make sure, like they always talk about, Chev, the CEO, always says, hey, man, I just want people to protect their homes and have a chance. We've been lucky the last few years. We've dodged some bullets. The islands don't, but we've been lucky here in South Florida. And, hey, there's only one thing you can do, and that's protect your home with the best when it comes to impact windows, doors, and roofing. And I'll tell you what, Loctite's got some great deals going on, 0% financing, 0 down. They also have no interest, no payments for a year. And when it comes to roofing, they do tile, shingle, metal flat. They do it all. Loctite Impact does all of that. And if you're going to wait another year and you need some repairs done, you can always call Loctite. They got a nice repair team for your roof ready to go 24 hours a day. Not only that, but Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. It's a one-stop shop when you sign with them. I can tell you that, man. Permits, HOA approvals, they do it all. Loctite Impact is a licensed and insured contractor. So if you've been thinking about it, put them on the list. Hear what they have to say. Go to LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com. Or you can call 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff ready to answer all your questions, covering all of South Florida. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Go.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less for your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Marlins, beat the Blue Jays 8-2 for their 4th straight win. Game 2 of the 3-game road series is tonight with the first pitch at 7:07. The game can be heard here on WQAM. And the Hurricanes were selected to the Gainesville Regional. Miami will play Troy on Friday. In the NBA, the Knicks blew out the Cavs 130-93, earning their first trip to the NBA Finals in 27 years. Tonight, the Thunder will host the Spurs in Game 5 with their series tied at 2. Two of the Dolphins will return to OTAs in Miami Gardens today. Mandatory minicamp will begin on June 2nd. And in the NHL, the Hurricanes took Game 3 from Montreal 3-2 in overtime to take a 2-1 series lead. Tonight, the Golden Knights will look for the sweep of the Avalanche. The puck drops at 9. Time for your weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. We are in the low 80s and a 5% chance of rain. The Joe Rowe Show continues now.
Reflecting on this series, how much better, if they're better, are the Knicks than you guys?
I mean, I can't even answer that question honestly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was 4-0, but I don't think we had a chance as far as our best shot. You know, from a standpoint of the circumstances. You know, obviously they dominated us 4-0, but yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question, just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team, but you know, series wise, you know, it didn't show it, so it's a tough question to answer.
James Harden trying to figure that. Hey, by the way, it is a weird question. He should have just said, you know, after we had a 22-point lead with 7.5 minutes left and we lost on the road, we just kind of caved in at that point. Yeah, it wasn't good, especially.
They were losing that series regardless. And the Knicks are clearly the superior team there.
Well, they're just playing. You talk about playing your best basketball. I mean, they've got everything rolling. They got all the role players. They're getting a little bit from everybody. And when they need the big games, they got a guy that can get it done in Brunson, who's been really good. Hadn't had to do as much, not when you're up by 20 at the half.
Well, they mailed it in for that guy.
Oh,
they didn't want to go back to New York,
no.
which I don't blame them. But
what do you mean you don't blame them? It's your job to try to win. Nobody wants to get. They got to hear about getting. They it. No matter what you want to say about it, analytics and all the other stuff that their coaches try and talk about, you got swept. It's just nothing good. There's nothing good to try to even. Well, we felt we were a better team. You lost 4 straight. It's a little misleading. No, it's not. No, it really isn't. And so it's
it's a cool story. It's great for the league, right? To have the Knicks in this thing.
Oh, no, listen, the
World Cup's expensive. You see the get-in price for the first game of the finals in New York?
Oh,
$3,000.
They'll pay whatever that.
$3,000 a ticket right now. You want to sit in section 417, all the way behind the basket there, Joe. $29.78, including fees.
What do you think those floor tickets are going to be going for the last minute celebrity who wants to be down on the floor? I mean, that thing.
I can tell you that. I have the map up right now. $87,000.
Yeah, it's going to be.
What do you think?
First time there in a long time. Generations of fans. The celebrities all come out. They're going to want to be down there, and hell, some of them travel to the road games. So anyway, nice story. Not a Knicks hater for this. And I think they're going to be able to play with San Antonio or OKC, whoever ends up winning this series. And by the way, they got a lot of basketball left. That series is 2-2, and that thing's got 7 written all over it.
Thunder better win this one tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Or that series might be be over.
That thing could, I agree.
San Antonio steals this game. I think they go back there and they close it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, the guy in San Antonio that plays center that jumps 2 feet higher than, or just jumps up 2 feet higher than everybody else and
shoots threes.
So shoots threes with a lot better. And hell, he shoots threes better than anybody we have on our team. He's down here. He just Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's clearly bothering guys that are trying to get to the basket too. I mean, it's tough when you got that guy in
Well,
the
you're
middle.
throwing your shot up higher
Yeah.
than you usually do. Is he going to try to block it? Is he going to block it? Yeah.
The thing too, though, about the Spurs is they are loaded around him. Like, they put together a really good team around him. They're going to be good for a long time.
They got nice pieces who are willing to play team basketball. Good young players. I agree, Woody. I agree with everything. You know what's really weird with that? You keep hearing how Coach Pop's been so involved with the team.
That's cool, though.
I mean, it's cool, but I wondered the head coach, like, hey, Pop, whatever you want. You're the reason I got this job. If you don't sign off on me, I know I'm not getting it. And I guess Coach Pop's had a bunch of strokes and his health's not great, but he's they keep talking about, he's talking to these guys after games and he's been through it all. He's seen the good and the bad of the finals and getting to the finals and everything else. But yeah, they're a hell of a story. But I got to tell you, man, OKC gets up there after they get blown out, and they're a really mature team. They are a really mature team, the way they act. So we'll see what happens. But I do agree with you, Woody. You go towards the middle of that basket, and that center is standing there. You got in the back of your mind, usually I take this shot and a little fake, and I got it. Now you're throwing it up a little higher off the backboard, and you're not sure, and is he going to try to block it, or is he going to protect the rim in case I try to get it to somebody? Yeah, man, how many shots does he change just for guys that go to the paint, go inside? Just incredible. Yeah. He's going to be good for business, too, going around the league, right? Every time San Antonio plays, you're like, oh.
He's a must-see. And
Wemby's coming to town. I want to go.
Yeah, his collectible market, by the way, I mean, I know you're into this now, has been just through the roof since the guys entered the league and starting to come to fruition here. He's going to win some championships. But you and I were talking during the break, like Brunson, it's funny, he's the best player on a Knicks team that's going to the finals, and he just doesn't have that feel of a superstar to him, does he?
Of everybody left, I said this, been saying this for last
You're right,
month.
by the way. Yeah. Clutch. He is clutch.
Clutch
no
shots,
question.
Close games at the end of the game. I'm going to give it to him. And I know he plays below the rim. He's not flying high and giving you some ridiculous dunk over the top of a guy. But he knocks down, he creates his own shots. Again, for a guy that got great moves, but
does not have the athleticism of a lot of these other guys.
But man, is he just his makeup, he just knocks down huge shot after huge shot when he has to.
Knicks have a nice little team too, though.
Goes
man.
to the
They're gonna be tough
too.
for whoever.
Yeah.
I don't see this as like a sweep. Whoever wins the West is just automatically gonna win it. I think the Knicks will give them a series. Plus the Knicks are gonna be rested. These two teams are gonna go at it for at least 2 more games.
They are. You're right. No, they get a few extra days off there to get rested up. Hell, they had a few days off, and everybody's talking that was going to be a big issue against the Cavs.
Well, they're healthy, man. Hey, the Cavs didn't provide much resistance in that series, so they're healthy. And these two teams are a little banged up. An interesting NBA Finals for sure.
So we got that. We got speaking of basketball. So a lot of people think Giannis is Antetokounmpo is there's going to be a chance for him to come. And honestly, if Giannis is privately pushing for it, if Giannis must know by now how this thing in the NBA works, you can kind of push to where you want to go.
I think he plays the nice guy act very well.
He does, but behind the scenes, if he wants to be, and he's made it clear to everybody involved from the Heat to Milwaukee that's where I want to be. And there are going to be some other teams interested in him, even though, he didn't play a lot last year.
Everyone's going to be interested in him.
And now all the reports are coming out that he's late for everything and late for the plane. It's got to wait for we may have to do it too. So Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez is in some of these deals as well. The 13th pick in the draft obviously is going to be sexy to Milwaukee. Maybe a couple more ones, another one thrown in there.
Whatever it takes, man.
I do it every day.
Whatever it takes.
I do it. I don't want to run them back. It's the same group. Trying to, we've looked at the rest of the East, and we think we are so close to another 5 or 6 or 7 games, and that would have made us, instead of a play-in, we would have been a 3 or a 4 seed. No. We've done that. We've heard that. That's no, that's not Heat. So you get a chance to get him. He'd be great. He's clearly your best player coming in, and he and Bam together to start with would be really nice 1-2 punch.
Just the buzz around that team would be, I mean, it'd be so,
I agree.
So much fun to get that back.
What was the deal to a 4-year to sign here once you get it done? He's got 1 year left on his contract, but then 4-year, what I see is a lot of money.
Yeah, those NBA contracts aren't cheap anymore.
But that's what that TV revenue does, man. It's there's a lot of money for these guys.
But it would be a lot of fun to see a star, like a real superstar, back here in Miami, right?
Well, some people, yes, it would.
He would instantly be the biggest star we have in our town.
Yes,
like instantly. That wouldn't even be close.
Well,
and I'm not including the soccer, but
you have to. Messi plays here.
I know.
He's big stuff.
I understand he's big stuff, but I'm talking like the major sports, but
okay. They're in one of our professional sports.
They are.
And then on top of that, the Panther guys, and you got some
Panther guys are great,
stars.
But they just don't. I mean, Giannis jumps to the front.
No. He's right up there. I agree. I can't disagree with that. No, I'm with you. Nope. Not even going to try with you, Woody. You're right. He'd be good for a lot of things. And he plays hard, man. The guy does, when he plays hard. Now, got injured way too much last year, and then all the drama at the end of the year. But if he wants to be here, he's going to be here. Call James Harden. Woody, give me a list of guys you can call that forced their way out. Hell, the whole Brooklyn gang got out of there. Oh, I ain't playing here. Hell no, get me out of here. Okay, we'll ship you out.
I just think Giannis does a good job of playing this nice guy
role.
This is he was loyal to Milwaukee for a while, but you find out he's got a little, diva douche in him.
Diva douche.
Well, I mean, it's like, I think all the stars probably do to an extent. I don't know that any of these guys are probably particularly easy to deal with.
They know they can force their way out. They got a lot of power.
By the way, they were asking Donovan Mitchell. I mean, the game was barely over, and they're asking him about if he wants to stay in Cleveland.
Well, he's
due for his extension.
Yeah, he's choice number 2.
But the guy's like barely, 10 minutes out of getting knocked out of the playoffs. You're already asking him where he's going to play.
Yeah, that's exactly, like, you got swept. Okay, everybody knows that. We know what you're going to say. You staying or you want out?
What do they expect? I hate it here. I'm done.
No, he didn't say that. He's already said now we know what we need to do. And it's the first time in his 9 years he's made it this deep into the playoffs.
He's a hell of a player. He really is. He vanished too, but
he does. He does from half to half, but he's also got to have 4 points at half and end up with 40 in a game.
Yeah, but maybe James Harden's just contagious, man. You may need to get his ass out of there. He's rough. He really is.
He definitely got a lot older watching him play.
Yeah.
He has. And then you expect him to play, like the numbers he's put up in the past where he's led the league in scoring, and he's not that guy. Just not that guy. His attitude, though, man, you look at him, you wonder how much he really cares sometimes with things he says, and sure he's probably tired of getting ripped by everybody that has a voice and talks about the NBA. Hey, Woody, so we've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. We're going to have Kyle Krabs join us, the host of Locked On Fins, NFL analyst for A to Z Sports, and also the Canes getting set as a number 2 seed to go to Gainesville, play Friday night against Troy. So we'll talk to their head coach coming up a little bit later in the show as well. Right now, let's talk about something very, very important here that's a big part of Dade County, and that's Chapman Partnership. Congratulations to Chapman Partnership. They have been going for a long, long time, and I mean doing great work for the homeless. Now, when you say homeless, you got to explain what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about come over and grab a bite to eat and hit the streets all night and stop people at the stop signs and go out and scream at them and all that stuff. No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about rehabilitation. That's what Chapman Partnership's all about, doing great work. They do so much more than just provide housing and a warm meal. They're changing lives daily with all the great programs they have. I'm talking about when you're in, you're in. And with all the wraparound services and caring support that you get, it's amazing all the programs they've set up to help with mental health, with the doctors and dentists that donate their time to be part of Chapman Partnership. We got some great people in Dade County for the 2 facilities that they have. And they're really focused on 3 to 4 months of rehabilitation through all the great programs they put together and bridging employment and places to live. I mean, truly amazing stories. 3 to 4 months in the program. About half the people that stay at Chapman Partnership are families, and they're always working to get everybody, help them find a job, help them find a place to live. We got some fantastic stories. So join me at WQAM to show support for one of my favorite charities that really does make a difference in our community through workforce development, education. They really do it all. And they got all these services and programs, but we need your help. Things don't happen without your time and your money. Any level of support is so impactful to Chapman Partnership. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2026. Just go online to chapmanpartnership.org. Like Bam Adebayo, the Miami Heat, and a lot of other professional people in town that donate all their time and money. We thank them, and we'll thank you so much. Go to chapmanpartnership.org today.
In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Couple of accidents slowing you down this morning traveling in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by Wild Fork Foods. Slow moving I-595 westbound and Hiatus Road. Now dealing with an accident that has your left person driving northbound at Northwest 3rd Street. That has all of your main lanes shut down. Miami-Dade, stop and go traffic. Multiple vehicle accident on I-95 southbound as you approach Northwest 125th Street, now affecting 2 of your right lanes. That's traffic. I'm Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Everyday staples, now at lower prices. Always top quality. Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market. At Wild Fork, get whole antibiotic-free chicken, $1.98 a pound. Farm-raised salmon portions, $9.98. And Argentinian red shrimp, $4.50. Wild Fork, better meat, better value. Everyday staples, always top quality. Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market. Open now in Homestead.
Kids at home, if you want to see what the word quit means, oh, come on, Chuck. To give up. The verb of that is cavaliers. Oh, come on. This is what you see. You think they quit or the Knicks are just that good right now? No, they were down 29, Kenny. Kenny, look, this is just effort here. Come on, man. This is just effort. Look at this here. Yeah, you shouldn't be sprinting. No, watch this here. I got a little thing here. Look here. Come on, Kenny. Yeah, I mean, there was way. Oh, we got some more now. Hey, Chuck. No. Fast break points 26-3. Come on, man. Yeah, okay. Okay, we got some more now. No, they didn't beat them down the court again. Yes, they did. No, they couldn't. Come on. Oh my God, Lambert is on fire. Are we?
Well, Chuck making it clear that one team quit last night, and what are they down 19 or 20 at the half and end up losing 130-93 and get swept. Bring out the brooms last night, man, in New York with, I guess, a hell of a party in New York City last night. And so they're in. They're in the finals, and now they'll wait to see if they're going to play San Antonio or Oklahoma City. That series tied at 2 games apiece right now. And I know what today's mostly going to be about. It won't be about how well the Knicks have played. It's going to be more about how bad the Cavs were in this series. And there's nothing good about it. Analytics, whatever their coach wants to talk about, it just, you get swept. It's and blown out. Yeah, it looks like there was some quit in there. No question. There were some guys that checked out to go fishing a little bit early, right? Get on the
very embarrassing, by the way. You never want to get, accused of quitting by the inside the NBA guys. That's never good, man.
Well, they'll get after
That's
it.
ugly.
And they did with a lot of examples going back on the highlights of some guys that maybe didn't give a good enough effort. Hey, so I got to bring up, we got OTAs for the Dolphins. Well, we got OTAs, I think a mini camp, and that's just about it. That'll be it. And I know a lot of guys will be staying around to work out the rest of the summer, but as far as official workouts with the team, the mini camp is mandatory. The OTAs, a couple of them today and tomorrow, and so media will be out there. So our writers, they're a good bunch of guys. They're not bad, and they got to write stuff every day and keep it fresh. Whether it's, I don't know what kind of wide receiving class I don't know either. I truly don't. I'm with you. It's probably not going to look like the 2 guys that have been lining up for the last few years before injury and before a trade. Probably won't look like that. Paid a lot of money for both those guys and had a couple great years of production, the best in the history of the franchise. The numbers they put up together. And individually, Tyreek Hill's numbers for 2 years were, well, hell, 1 year the players named him the best player in the National Football League. So speaks for itself. Never take away from what those guys did together. I thought Waddle was great about playing the number 2 role and allowed Tyreek and his big personality and everything to be the frontline guy on this team. But just going forward here now, after I've said all these nice things. So anyway, one of our writers down here, Marcel, who does a great job with ESPN, Dolphins Insider, and does a lot of stuff. When you read ESPN, he's got the Dolphin stories and is down here. He's a full-time beat writer down here to cover everything and does some TV with them as well. He came out and said he thinks this team will go 500. Well, they can't go 500, but then go 8-9 or 9-8 would be considered the with an odd number of games that they're going to go 8-9 or 9-8. And first of all, Vegas got them winning 4.5 games, Woody, I believe is the number, which whatever that's worth. I mean, they're putting their money out there on it for people to bet on. We've never had this situation before. First of all, it's a record amount of dead money to start with that part of it. So a lot of our money is cleaning up the mess so we can clear up a lot of money for next year. And we decided to do most of it in 1 year. Just clean it up. We'll have a big draft. We'll put a lot of emphasis on the draft. We'll get some free agents, but all on the cheap. Everybody on the cheap except your quarterback, Malik Willis. And so they decided to go that way, and you get the Atwells and Sawyers and Tolberts and, some guys on the defensive side of the ball that will get a chance on the cheap to get their careers going again. Some of those guys will start, and others will play a lot of football. Yes, I agree. But with so many new players, and in a lot of cases, last year's rookie class and this year's rookie class going to make up a lot of it. For anybody to just all of a sudden, when you look at the schedule, and Marcel's got him going 4-4 at home, and you look at the schedule, and by the way, for visiting fans, it's a great year. Visiting fans that like to come down, Mahomes and the Chiefs, Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, Patriots. We play every year, but they got a quarterback now in Drake May. Lions got golf. Geno Smith coming back home as the Jets quarterback again. Caleb Williams and the Bears. Chargers, Justin Herbert, and the Bills, Josh Allen. So they got a hell of a home schedule for entertainment purposes. I'm just not sure, and I would just say this. I don't think they're going to win 8 or 9 games, first of all. Even with everything at its best and this team staying healthy, which you got to throw that in because we have a lot of injuries. Everybody does. And, you hope your guys aren't out a long time when they do get injured, but it happens. You look at that, and you got positions where you got guys playing for the first time. You're not sure who's going to line up yet at some of these positions. To just go out and say this team's going to have a better record than last year with a tougher schedule than last year. Whew, man. There's just so many things to this that it's going to be tough. And so you're starting to sell that you believe this team's going to go 500. Man. First of all, Jeff Hafley will be or should get votes for Coach of the Year, a lot of them. If he goes 8-9 or 9-8, Woody, that should he should get some votes. Looking at games that, they have the best chance to win, obviously the Jets, but the Raiders week 1, I'd put there right at top of my, just from what everybody's added and what they look like last year. And that's a game, whichever guy's starting at quarterback, that you could have chance to win. That'd be a really good chance to win that game. But boy, I wasn't expecting Marcel to come out with that one, that he thinks they got a chance to go 8-9 or 9-8. Talking about 500, that's as close as you can get. So anyway, and again, they got a tough schedule. I probably didn't bring that up when I was talking about all the quarterbacks. It looks like you're playing against all the top-rated quarterbacks. What did we miss? One guy? So only Matthew Stafford's about the only guy you didn't see on that list, right? I think everybody else made it, including guys that we didn't get or had a chance to get and didn't take that are still on their teams. Josh Allen jumped over us and some other teams. Justin Herbert sitting there next to Tua, and you'll get to see him again because they're going to be down here with the Bills and the Chargers. So Yeah, but it's not a shot. I get it, man. Everybody's if Marcel really believes that, that's great. Be good when he goes out there. Says, hey, man, I think you're a 500 team. After watching you through a couple of days run around here and you're learning the offense and defense. I'm like, okay. I do like the offensive line and defensive line. I don't know what we have as pass rushers. I don't know what we're going to have. Probably going to have to do some creative blitzing to make up for it, which is we've had some success doing that. I mean, those are things.
Well, would you be shocked if the team is competitive?
Yeah, no. Competitive's a different deal. Staying competitive in games, yeah, that's a different deal.
Because most of these things have them as the worst team in football, right? Most of these power rankings or the experts. Or
well,
whatever.
Because of what they've done and what they've got rid of and the amount of money, yes, they're
that also
dead last.
That also implies that they're not going to be very competitive in these games too, though, right? If you're the worst team in football, you're usually there's a lot of blowouts on the list.
Hey, you play hard. You stay competitive. You see guys getting better, not making the same mistakes every week. Yeah, you're going to get better. Yeah, you're going to get better. And, hey, if this offensive line ends up being what you hope with your first-round pick, and Austin Jackson can stay healthy, that's the other thing. The other thing is, I'm sitting here talking about staying healthy, and people are going to go, Joe, how often does a team stay healthy for 17 games? Go back and look. Austin Jackson hadn't been healthy for 17 games, for one. So, yeah, depth of this team is going to be important. The back end of this roster is going to be really important. Hell, the practice squad guys, half the practice squad guys will end up on the roster at some point during the season. So, yeah, when you do that, I'm like, wow, okay. And again, there will be some guys who we'll get some teams that we thought were going to be really good last year, and they lost their quarterback and they lost some key guys and couldn't play, and we got some wins. The game going to Washington and beating going to Madrid and beating Washington, I should say. That was and you'll get some teams who are going to be banged up and missing some key players that will give you a better chance to win. But I just, hey, Woody, this needed to be done. I have no problem with it. We have a lot of fans want to know how many games we're going to win. And I'm like, hey, probably not the best year to be looking at wins, and just look at individuals, guys you've drafted. Woody, you said it so well to start the show this morning. So let's see what Malik Willis looks like starting number one. Let's see what this draft looks like. Let's see if they can get more out of last year's draft class in year two. Some of those guys should be a lot better. And then let's see some of these veterans that they added on the cheap. See how many of these guys get their careers going again and play better than you thought. And then the top picks, obviously, within the draft, Proctor and Johnson and some of these guys, how good they can be. They're going to play. They're going to start day one. If you're a number one pick, and by the way, probably a number two pick, they're not bringing him in as the third guy they took in that draft to be sitting around playing special teams. He's going to play a lot of football too. Anyway, we got to go to break here. Got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. And again, I'm not trying to be a downer, because it is about we needed to do all these things. We got it right, starting with hiring a GM and then hiring a head coach and making decisions, and then they made decisions together on the quarterback. That's the way professional teams do it. You don't keep the head coach, get rid of the GM, and then the new GM comes in and they go, oh, by the way, you got to keep the head coach. We really like him. We think he's really good. That's a tough way to do business. Tough way. Hey, let's talk about Atlantic Men's Clinic, man, ED and low T. Oh, boy. You want to start with your energy level? How's that been lately? Boy, I'll tell you what, if you're struggling, tired all the time, and you know you have low T, but you just talk to everybody, oh, yeah, it's normal, and you know how this thing works. You get older, and pretty soon you stop doing all the things you used to do. Even walking, you don't do as much, and you used to have a favorite sport you'd want to play occasionally. Now you're not. You used to jog a little bit. Now you don't do anything. You're spending more time at home on the couch and still eating the same amount. And I know what happens to guys. It's called 20 pounds. Gain 20 pounds because you're not the same guy, still eating the same amount of food. And if you're going through that and your sex drive is gone, you have ED and low T, they run together. And 50% of the men at age 50 will have ED and low T. Yeah, no sex drive whatsoever. There is nothing happening in your bedroom, nothing at all. And you're making excuses. She's telling you it's okay. It's not a big deal. You start sleeping in separate bedrooms. Man, you're going, what the heck happened? My sex drive's gone. My energy level's gone. I had it happen, both of them. Man, I was making excuses. We went on a date one night, and I remember going to bed like sprinting home and jumping in bed to fall asleep. So, because I was so embarrassed about all the problems. Yeah, that's no reason to get into that this morning, but I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic, man. 2 years I've been going there. 2 years and 2 months to be exact, and it's been a home run for me. I got the PSA test. But I did, and then I met with their professional staff they brought in. They explained everything, answered all my questions, and I got to tell you, I got on the program right away, and it works right away. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. If you're going through low T and ED right now, what are you waiting for? Atlantic Men's Clinic can get you rolling before that summer vacation. How'd you like to be active and everybody in the family going, look at you. What the heck happened to you with all this energy? Well, that's what happens when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. Brand new location in Hollywood. You got to set up that first appointment. Call them today, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Man, it works.
If it's going down, you know we on it. If it's going down, you know we on it. WQ. Today.
So dealing with an accident out of Broward County this morning at University Drive northbound at 3rd Street has all of your main lanes shut down, stopping a traffic building in Miami-Dade along the Palmetto southbound from I-75 to 103rd Street. That's traffic. Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the Casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at CasinoDaniaBeach.com.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado,
I mean, this guy's
A rough spin.
going
to put
gas.
On that show.
Going gas.
Jeez, man.
I didn't mean to give him the Tommy John surgery early. I hope he's fine.
All right, fair enough.
Great for baseball.
I've been kind of waiting to hear you weigh in on this one, and thankfully Lane Kiffin, I don't know, the guy doesn't turn down an interview. I actually was speaking to our friend Matt Hayes. Remember Matt?
Yeah, all day Matt Hayes.
Yeah. So Lane Kiffin made his comments about Ole Miss in a Vanity Fair interview.
Yeah.
Because again, this guy just can't turn down an interview. He went on to say in his interview with Matt Hayes, people don't read the actual words I used in the article. I said, a parent said, that's not me saying it as my opinion. I was accused of making racially insensitive comments about the differences in recruiting at Ole Miss.
It's hard to recruit at Ole Miss with the whole.
He said recruits told Kiffin, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi, amongst other things. Said that doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents were sitting there this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great. It feels like there's no segregation. We want that for our kid because that's the real world. These are all of Kiffin's insane comments. The weirdest part, though, is it says after Kiffin said that he spoke to the outlet again to clarify that he did not mean it in a disrespectful way. I just hope it comes across respectful to Ole Miss, he said. There are some things that I'm saying that are factual. They're not shots.
So he kind of flipped it around a little bit. Like I said it, but that's not what I meant.
No, I meant all due respect when I called it a racist, hellhole, and no kids ever want to go there.
So I think like my problem, like everybody else's problem, you sure didn't have a problem taking that job and getting good enough players there that, and a lot of them are black players or white players that seem to be okay.
Well, the problem is he's about to get in trouble for these comments because I don't think you're allowed to do these kinds of things. Like the SEC can't be thrilled to have one of their coaches taking this level of shots at another program.
So he falls under the category for me. He's been a really good coach going back to his days at FAU when he got his career going again. But I'm not his biggest fan, so I'm probably the wrong guy to
There's
ask.
something wrong with him. He's a sick dude, right? Like something is so wrong with him. I was talking about this with Omar. I don't think he cares about winning. I think he cares about money and fame.
No,
I think he's a sociopath. That's the
by the way,
he cares about.
He better, of all the jobs he's had, this one's got higher expectations for him than anybody. They're paying him a lot of money. They're giving him all he needs. They're one of the top NIL teams spending money. They're expecting him to come in and win a lot of games right away.
Yeah, but he probably understands that whatever happens, he's going to get another job. right?
I
It's
don't
like
think
this
so.
fail forward thing with this guy. Like,
he's definitely a different cat, man. He is.
I don't think he cares about I really, truly don't think he cares about winning. I think this is all about money and fame for him.
I don't know
If
about
he really
that,
cared about
Woody.
winning, he probably wouldn't have left. He would have just coached his team in the playoff. But, you can't win there, Joe. It's just too racist. So he moved a little bit down the road.
I do believe he's got a better chance to win in LSU than he does
probably.
in Ole Miss. I do.
Probably. You were probably right.
But he didn't make a lot of friends. There's no
No.
question with the comments.
All right, Joe. Over the weekend, I guess it was over the weekend. I don't think anyone watched it, but there's this thing called the Enhanced Games. Have you heard of this?
Is that the guys you can do steroids and run as fast as
and it didn't go very well for many different reasons here. One being that they only had one person of these roided out freaks that actually won or set a world record, which they've already said that nobody will honor anyway.
Right.
They had some people in this thing that weren't doing steroids that ended up being the best anyway. Like Fred Curley was involved in this thing in the running. Whole thing ended up being a complete, basically a disaster. And again, I don't know how many people watch this, and I think morally this is just, it's pretty gross. So Emmanuel Acho, this is kind of a funny storyline from this thing. Emmanuel Acho was on like their broadcast, or whatever, is a big part of this thing.
Does he still do the?
I have
the
absolutely
Fox
no
sports
clue what he
shows,
does.
I don't know.
I have no clue what he does. But I will tell you, and again, I'm not getting political this year, but he spent his weekend talking about Jackson Dart and putting his political takes out there. He might want to find out who's sponsoring or a big investor that's paying his bills on this Enhanced Games.
So
before he keeps
I know it's
going down that road, but
I have no
I just
idea.
found that to be
what
the
are you saying?
irony involved.
So
in
you're
that.
saying Trump's kids?
Yeah, there's a bunch of investors, but he happens to be one of the big ones.
Okay.
So while he's Emmanuel Acho is like spewing his political takes all over Twitter.
Yeah.
Which I would prefer my sports guys kind of stick to sports. I don't know about you, but
I would agree. It makes for makes it better for teammates too, to be honest.
Yeah.
By the way, but I would this came up as soon as it happened, and hey man, you play with, and I come from California. Can you imagine when we got here and guys are from the South have different take and different states you're from, and families all have political takes on everything and who you like and who you don't like and why and all those things. But I don't know. I just think it's always better when you don't get involved.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your thoughts on it. You're not going to change how you feel about things when you vote and who you support. And by the way, you go out and you eat with guys that agree with you or disagree, and you sit around dinner and talk about it and tell you why, and we all laugh at the end of the night, have a good laugh about it. But yeah, that was a weird one.
But your team in those days, I mean, that must have been like a culture shock for you almost, right? Coming down here from out there.
From Berkeley to here? Yeah. You think?
Yeah, that must have been wild.
You think?
Anyway.
I've told you, man, like some of those guys from Alabama were only a few classes into playing with black teammates.
Yeah.
Only a few years. And, it was a little different than out in California.
All right, Joe, one more for you here. Our old friend Johnny Manziel surfaced over the weekend as well.
Did he win his fight?
He did. He was in an MMA fight. I didn't even know this was going down. I probably would have been, excited, would have had a party at the house for this thing, but I was unaware this was even happening. Did you know this was happening? You did? I did know, yeah. I usually follow him pretty closely, but he beat social media influencer Bob Menery. First round stoppage.
I think he's like 2.5 million followers. He got a good fight. He beat a big follower there.
I'm not sure who that is, but
I don't know either. Being a smart ass. I have no idea.
Apparently, Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley fought in this thing too.
Oh my God. The Bees pops up again.
I saw. So I don't know what Michael Beasley's got going on
with Michael B. Ever since he cried when he went on the podcast with Channing.
You weren't here, but like we did. There's this watch the pocket watch thing that you might have been here for the pocket watches that Swatch was making.
Yes.
Apparently, he was at the mall in the chaos. They had like someone had video of him. It's just very weird, man. Very weird stuff going on out there, Joe.
You know, he wasn't a bad guy covering him. He was not a bad guy.
No, you confuse bad with stupid, but no.
But remember when he's on the boat and
he was not the smartest.
Reefer.
He was not the smartest.
Oh God.
Didn't he get in trouble at like the draft combine or something? Or was that someone else?
I don't know, but that guy could score. He may not do anything else, but he could score. Right?
Yeah, that was a bad era.
He could. What was it? Number 2 pick.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
There's Derrick Rose went before him, right?
Yeah. Oh. All right, Woody, we got 8 o'clock hour coming up here. Kyle Crabb's going to join us in just a few minutes. We'll talk to him. But before we do that, I want to tell you about Gary and Harvey. Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah, the partners of Cohn and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys in Plantation that you can always get a hold of that are going to kick butt for you from day one. That's what it's all about. Hey, I always say this. You see all these commercials on TV, right? And all these guys going, you need us, and we want to take care of you. And they make it sound like they're going to actually sit down and handle your case for you. You know, slip and fall, automobile accident, any kind of accident at all, man. I just want to let you know. And then you get there and you decide to go with them. You've seen that beautiful commercial they do, and walks into the shot, and you go, that's the guy I want. And they go, oh, no. He's not even here today. He's out golfing right now. But, hey, we do a handoff attorneys back here. Matter of fact, they got 200 or 300 cases, and they're just going to add you to the case. Well, what kind of priority are you going to be in that situation? You will not have that problem with Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah. Nope. Same partners who handle your case from start to finish, more than 30 years of experience, big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, small enough just to call you back. Go to ConanJudah.com and read the reviews. Partners who you can always get a hold of. A lot of great things, and it's all about communication, giving you updates, letting you know you feel important every day when you deal with them. I'm telling you right now, go to ConanJudah.com, read those reviews, or go to 866-FAIR-FEE. Remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do.
an experienced safety based on how they see that group playing out. Or I don't think it'll happen at corner because I think the young competition there is going to be pretty robust. Maybe at wide receiver. But I think by and large, this is the group you're going to see. And it would take the right combination of player in a position they feel like maybe they're not seeing the growth that they would like to see from, plus a price point that is exceptionally cheap because, they do have the Bradley Chubb money coming up, but they're going to eat a good portion of that by signing this rookie pool. Then you need another chunk of it for the practice squad, and then you need to carry some of it through the season for when injuries hit.
Yeah. And by the way, I was bringing up this morning, this practice squad becomes really important to this team. You're going to have injuries. We know nobody's playing with the same 53 guys all year. Just never happened, and not in today's game, playing an extra game. So the practice squad obviously is very, very important as well with this group. So I looked at this wide receiver group, and everybody's trying to figure it out. And we're not very patient about letting everything play out. And I get everybody's got jobs to do. You got a podcast to do every day and trying to figure out if we have twos or if we have threes. It sounds like Jeff Ireland again. Well, we got 2 or 3. We got to find out what we have. But hey, man, I think they're going with this group of receivers. I do. And it's like we're going to – and you hope that more timing they get with Malik Willis, it just gets better chemistry where he feels comfortable throwing to these guys. Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I go back to, John Eric Sullivan and his time in Green Bay, and when they made the transition from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, that wide receiver room when they cut to 53 was 3 rookies and 3 second-year players, and the top 2 tight ends on the depth chart were both rookies as well. So it's not like this is uncharted waters for we want this whole group and unit to grow together. Because it's kind of like that storyline that the past iterations of the Dolphins embodied and lived when you get guys from different places and you get a concept and you hear the concept, a guy who's been in the league and has matured. A lot of those guys, they have their own vision of how that's supposed to look and feel and play and how they run the route. And that matters, but it also matters how your quarterback sees it and to be able to be on the same page on what that timing's supposed to look like. So I think it's another room with a lot of robust competition where there's some young explosive guys. Obviously the Chris Bell injury storyline is kind of the great wild card for that room, in my opinion. But I think that there's value to those guys all growing at the same time if you have the timetable to allow it to happen, which is part of the appeal of why you start everything and everybody all at the same time when you start a build together.
Everybody wants to kind of compare what this team did this offseason and what they have on the roster right now to what happened with Brian Flores when we thought they're going to lose all those games, and Brian Flores said, no, Josh Rosen's not playing anymore. We're going to try to win these friggin' games. I don't think they have anything in common. Do you? I look at age and the guys you have and how young you are, the schedule and all the. I just don't think it has anything in schedule with what Brian Flores was able to do once he got past getting crushed in those first couple of games.
Right. I would be inclined to agree with you where, that roster had a couple of established players on defense in Rashad Jones and Xavier Howard, and they played a combined 9 out of a possible 32 games because of injuries that season. But you look on the offensive line, it was kind of just like a hodgepodge group. A vast majority of those guys played maybe one more year in the league, if not were out of the league by the year that they finished with the Dolphins in 2019. And obviously Ryan Fitzpatrick was brought in, but that was always kind of understood that was not a long-term answer. Ryan Fitzpatrick led that team in rushing as a 35, 36-year-old quarterback, right? That's what the situation was. This team's running back, a running back that they just signed to a contract extension. They got several long-term pieces you would like to believe along the offensive line, and they've told us that they believe this is the quarterback that they can win with moving forward. That in and of itself makes it a dramatically different feel than what you had in 2019, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about that offensive line. I forget the pass rushers, but I like potentially the O&D line. Now, I'm not talking about depth, but I'm talking about the frontline guys, whether it's Paul and Proctor and Brewer and Savia Nair, or it might end up being, Sawyer in there as well. But Austin Jackson, if he can stay healthy, I don't have a problem with that group once they play together. And I'm guessing preseason, and I want to add part 2 of this, I think preseason we're going to see a lot of these guys play a lot of football, right? You're not resting a bunch of guys with no experience.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of even just last year when Savia played extra reps and Patrick Paul played extra reps in the preseason versus some of the other ones or projected ones, just because, they need the reps, right? And I think that's a group where maybe you're a little more selective with Aaron Brewer because he's so well established, and you kind of like to get a feel for Andrew Meyer, who in a familiar system last year and obviously made the team as an undrafted rookie, you feel like you might have something there. So maybe during the preseason you see a little more of Andrew Meyer versus the guards. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think time on task and collecting reps, I think that's a big must for this group, for them to make the most of being able to hit the ground running once the regular season starts.
So I got to ask you about the Proctor situation. It's interesting. Left guard and right tackle have nothing in common. Nothing in common. And to me, it'd be difficult coming into the league for the first time where he's already going to play against better competition at both positions he ever played against, even coming from the SEC. It's not like the NFL. So you think they do some cross-training with them, or do you think they just stick with one, understanding that? How do they get the most out of Proctor in year 1 so he can get off to a good start in his career as a number 1 pick?
Yeah, I think there's a cautionary tale with how things went with Jonah last year with changing sides and positions. So Bobby Slowick kind of alluded to during one of the earlier windows for OTAs that keeping Proctor on the left side to start, but cross-training, so being left guard, left tackle. Obviously, that opens up a question of if something does happen at right tackle, do you throw that plan in the trash?
Yeah.
Do you just take Jamari Sawyer and play him there because he's played right tackle in his career, which I would probably be fine with if you want to mitigate the noise for Proctor in year 1. I don't think that would be a bad idea. But I think for year 1, getting a guy's self-confidence up and his acclimation to the speed of the game, and obviously things happen faster on the inside. So if Proctor can handle that and that speed on the inside, you'd like to think that's a strong endorsement for, as he matures and develops, you can kind of open up the book and move him wherever you feel like he's best long-term.
Malik Washington, I see some articles being written about him, and his numbers haven't been, yards per catch hasn't been good enough underneath. And I think they're throwing all that on Malik. I don't think that was all his fault. I think that was just the offense before everybody goes looking at numbers and not looking at the bigger picture. But that's just me. I think he's got a big role with this team. I know everybody's trying to say, well, he's a lot like a guy they drafted later in the draft. I think Malik's going to play a lot of football this year.
I think Malik's a really smart guy. And, what is it? It was 40 out of 65 targets that Malik Washington had last year came on routes that were run within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So I really could care less what the yards per catch is, because 2/3 of the times he was targeted, it was within 5 yards. Spoiler alert, that's not going to have a really high yield in the passing game, regardless of who you are. So I think there's more meat on the bone. I go back to kind of the second half of rookie season. Malik Washington, he had that nice corner route against the Rams to ice that game on a 3rd down conversion when they came out throwing the ball in prime time. He's got some savvy to him. Is he the most explosive player? No, not at wide receiver, but by those standards. But he's tough. He's smart. He's got good spatial awareness. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone for him with an expanded role that doesn't ask him to run a bunch of spacing routes underneath that would then charge him with just creating yardage with the ball in his hands when it turns into a punt return left or right drill.
Yeah. Hey, I know I've asked you this before. There is money in June if they decide to get Brewer and Brooks done, right? There is money and ways to get that done?
Yeah, and it really just depends on how they structure the signing bonus. Some of the details from the Achane contract came out at the end of last week, and I thought some of those numbers were interesting to find out. Obviously, they had moved a portion of his salary into a bonus to restructure him and convert that money for salary cap purposes. His signing bonus was relatively small. So his year one cash went from 5.8 to $10 million, and that goes into a signing bonus. So Devon Achane's salary cap charge from before the deal got done to after the deal got done on a 4-year, $64 million extension, the cap charge only went up $850,000. So, you think about that with Aaron Brewer, and depending on what the year one cash is, now that's a big part of the negotiation, and players want to maximize that window, right? And they want as much guaranteed as signing as they possibly can. But then for Jordan Brooks, they didn't do anything with his contract yet, so they could give him a raise and move all of it into a bonus, and they could actually save salary cap space. So it's kind of wide open for them, depending on what they choose to do.
I want to ask you, we got two veteran inside linebackers, both coming off really, really good years, both over 100+ tackles, and I thought played great together with takeaways and blitzing, and they're really no problem there whatsoever. Now they add in the second round a rookie linebacker who does it all and is really good keeping in on second and third and long situations. How does this play out? I don't think all three of them play together a lot. I'm not saying some, but not a lot in today's game. You don't see three linebackers stay out there. How does this end up?
I think the battle that I'm watching is if Jacob Rodriguez can push Tyrel Dotson early. When they drafted Rodriguez, they kind of alluded to him being a future green dot player. And if you remember last year, there was a whole conversation around Tyrel Dotson being the green dot player versus Jordan Brooks. And Joe Barry was there and was a part of that decision because they felt like Brooks, if you didn't have him doing traffic control for everybody on defense, it kind of freed him up to be the best version of himself as a player.
Right.
So I think how quickly Rodriguez picks all that up to be able to challenge Dotson for that role, I think will determine how soon we see Rodriguez in the starting lineup. But I do think he is a good enough player that, if Dotson keeps the job to start the season, you'll want to find some ways to get Rodriguez on the field. So when teams do go with 12 or 13 personnel, or they go heavy with 21 and a fullback in the backfield,
right,
you can get those guys to coexist in those situations.
Yeah, good point there. That is that'll be interesting. Listen, there's some things when we get to camp, when you come down here, they're going to be fun to watch and see how this thing comes together and how quickly you can start counting on guys and trust them, because a lot of guys are going to be thrown in where they got to play. Hey, man, we need to get better every day. And hey, by the way, in what order this draft class, Malik Willis, the number one picks, tell me most important thing when camp starts for you with this football team and for the new general manager and new head coach.
I think it probably has to start with Malik Willis, right? There's some dollars put in there. There's multiple years of guarantees, and it's the quarterback. And if you're going to be able to make the most of this build and how you started it, you will have made that bet correctly, and he will be a player that you find instills confidence in you long term, because then regardless of what the record is at the end of the season, if you feel good about that one and how quickly he acclimates to being an unquestioned or a starting quarterback, the future question is still there until the body of work is there. That frees up your directions with where the build goes exponentially. So I think Malik is one, and then the offensive line with the investments, right? There's potentially a new contract for Aaron Brewer, and Patrick Paul is a second-round pick. Jonas Fine is a second-round pick. Caden Proctor, the first pick of this year's group. They're talking about how much they want to run the ball. I think that group gelling quickly will be another thing that's at the top of the list for me.
That's pretty good, by the way. 2 1s and 2 2s on potentially your starting offensive line to go.
And don't forget, you got Austin Jackson was a 1-2, so you technically got 3 1s and 2 2s on that group.
Hey, so real quickly too, but before I let you go here, and just looking at this whole thing and Jeff Hafley. So you looked at the schedule more than once. You've looked to see. we're all guilty. I looked at it too, and I want, the quarterbacks that are coming down here, and got into it with some fans, wanted to know like about their season tickets. I said, well, listen, man, we got a lot of good quarterbacks coming to town, and the growth of the Miami Dolphins and everything else. But I look at that Raiders game in week 1, man, and you got a chance to get off to a good start. Just a perfect time for a team that also doesn't know how good they're going to be. You agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, 100%. And they've made a bunch of investments on the defensive side of the ball. Are they going to start Mendoza to start the year, or will they go with a veteran in Kirk Cousins? I think the floor is probably higher with Cousins, but the ceiling higher with Mendoza. Obviously, is with being the number 1 overall pick in the first game of his NFL career. So there's some challenges that team presents, obviously with Brock Bowers and year 2 Ashton Genty, but that is certainly a group that you look at the new that they have and contrast it to your new, and you say, yeah, I mean, you flip a coin. Maybe you give the lean to the home team because they're at home, but
right.
That's a team that I think has some opportunities for the Dolphins to try to maximize and get off to a good start for the first game of the year.
Kyle, we got a lot of stuff to get to, and I can't do it all in one day. I wish I could. Hey, my man, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure as always, Joe. Good catching up with you.
Kyle Krabsey, host of Locked On Fins and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports. And hey, man, I want to get back from football to your mental health. It is May, and you know what that means. You've seen it all, a lot of it on TV. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. And there's no better time to prioritize your well-being. If you're going through it, and I call it off the road, been there a couple of times going back in the 80s and 90s, getting off that road, and anxiety and depression are holding you back, whether you're going through a divorce or going through loss of job, and just a mess, man. Even your buddies are going, come on, man, go get some help. Well, listen to them. Because I want me to tell you about Recovery Unplugged Mental Health Residential Program in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, offering a private, comfortable space to heal. It is fantastic. Dr. Barry, by the way, and his staff, thank you. I had a great time, man. I got to see it up close with their expert care and unique music-based approach, which is phenomenal. You can take that first step. You got to get down there, because once you get there, you're going to start feeling better. They accept most major insurances. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. And in the month of May, there's no better time to heal out loud than right now.
Let's go. Turn me up. We can now prove that most of us have
of that. Had one of the greatest Super Bowls ever for a defensive lineman. Has passed away, age 79, and a really good guy. Got a chance. He a Northern California guy to start with, but really, really good guy to be around. He moved up years ago. He's always been a big hunter and loved to hunt and was into he'd hunt anything. And so he moved out, and we haven't seen him in years. So we lose another member of the undefeated Miami Dolphins. Boy, that's a tough one. I know there's some other guys struggling right now as well, and but I didn't know anything about Manny. So for Dolphin fans out there that remember old Manny Fernandez and the great stories around him, he was a wild man, free spirit, but he was one heck of a defensive tackle. My God, I think it was a game against Washington. He had all the tackles, some crazy amount of tackles, and just destroyed him with the way he played. And of course, he was a big part of the alligator story that's been told over and over again. I think it was with Wahoo McDaniels, who and they're both crazy, would go out and went out in the Everglades and caught a baby alligator, brought it back and put it in Don Shula's shower before he got to work, and locked it in there. He had a door to the shower. So I laugh every time I hear just the thought of Don Shula coming in the morning to take his shower in the morning come in and shower after he worked out, and coming in and that alligator being in that shower is just hilarious. Just and I guess he came out, and the word is, I think he went to Jim Kick first. He thought Jim Kick was behind it, and there's a lot of different stories. Matter of fact, maybe Bo this week, Kim Bocamper, can share that story. It's a classic that Manny and those guys. I can't even imagine going out in the Everglades in the middle of the night. Go have a few beers, and they decide to go out in the Everglades and catch a friggin' alligator. Last thing I want to do at night is go out in the Everglades with the damn snakes and alligators. Back then it was just alligators. But what a crazy story. So anyway, our condolences go to Manny's family. I think he's originally from San Jose, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's a tough one. So the number is dropping every year with the amount of those guys that played in the 70s. And some of them, by the way, some of those guys played into the 80s. I had Tim Foley as a teammate in 1980. Larry Little, Bob Greasy. We had a few guys from that team that were still playing at that time. So anyway, just wanted to get that out. Hey, we got to go to break because we're going to switch it over. We got some more good news. Canes baseball knows where they're going. They're going to be the 2 seed going to Gainesville for the NCAA regional baseball tournament coming up. So they'll open with Troy on Friday, and you know what's going to happen at some point. Florida will be there, and they're going to have to beat them to move out of the regional. So we'll talk to J.D. Arteaga, Miami Hurricanes head baseball coach. When we come back, we'll have that for you as we continue on. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
WQA.
to a $4 breakfast meal deal. Wake up to a sausage McMuffin or a sausage biscuit.
In stock and on sale now. Call 305.
How do you go about when it comes to starting pitching? You obviously don't ever want to overlook the first game. So what are your thoughts going into this tournament?
Yeah, you know what? Looking at matchups right now, just, if you're the 1 seed, you can kind of hold off on your who you throw and maybe save an arm or two. But going into the 2 seed or a 3 seed, you got to win game 1, man. So whoever the best matchup is for game 1 is who you're going to go with, and then whoever the next guy goes game 2. So Troy's all that matters. I mean, we were in Gainesville, I think it was 2021, and never played Florida. I think, we beat South Alabama game 1, and they lost to South Florida game 1. So they were 2-0. We never played them. So game 1 is all that matters. You got to win the first one.
Yeah.
So we're looking at matchups right now, and it'll either be Rob Evans or AJ Siskar.
Yeah, I was going to ask, you look at both those guys, end up having really good years, both of them. Who's pitched better to this point and going in where you feel better? Either one guy, and I don't know who pitched well against the Gators. It was so long ago, but you have a pretty good idea right now, and you don't have to share it with me.
Yeah, they both, they both pitched well, man. Both those games, I think, the game Siskar pitched, it was 2-2 going into the 8th inning. Rob's game was 4-4 going into the 8th. They scored all 4 runs in the second or third inning. But they both pitched well. Rob's been very consistent all season. AJ's had, 2 or 3 hiccups along the way, but when he's good, he's really good as well, man. So just looking at the lineups, it looks like Troy is really heavy on the left side, so probably leaning towards Rob Evans right now, but no final decisions been made yet.
So I know you've been asked about this a bunch. Daniel Cuvée, who's so good, been one of the great third basemen in baseball here in college baseball for the last couple of years. He got a fracture in his back. No shot that he's ready to go this weekend?
No shot this weekend, and probably no shot.
Okay.
Unless we get to Omaha. It's one of those things, the fracture, man. So that there's the timetable is a timetable. You got to let the bone heal, and he's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's not going to do anything to jeopardize that. So.
No. I got you. Hey, Milano's done a nice job filling in for him, though. He really has. I'm not saying he's Cuvée, but you got to be pretty pleased with what he's done.
Very happy, especially at the plate, man. He's really battled at the plate. He's swinging the bat well. There's some big RBIs, big hits, and hasn't been overmatched, man. The stage has not been too big for him. Really here as of late, our 3 freshmen in the lineup are probably giving us our best at bats, and Alvarez, Dubovic, and Milano, man. So, very happy with those guys. Very happy for our future, obviously. But stay present, and what matters is right now. So, defensively, obviously, is something that we got to continue to work on. And Milano's one of those guys that has to improve over there defensively.
I know you get asked this, but you got freshmen, man. And I knew you had a talented freshman class. You said this to me before. You love these guys. They have a little something to them. Nothing's too big coming out of high school, and they're going to be ready. But now you go into a tournament, man, and a lot more at stake now. Do you worry about those guys? You know their makeup better than anybody, and because they really have had good years. You've had some young guys really hit the ball well.
Not really, not at this point, right? I think if those guys are starting, in late February, then yes, they're freshmen. But Alvarez or Dubovic, they've seen so much action this year. It's almost June. They're not freshmen anymore. I mean, the ACC tournament is as good a tournament as there is, and Alvarez, you can call it a breakout tournament, but he's been good for us all year, man. And he's been really fun to watch. He started every midweek game behind the plate. But once he became that guy, right, the man, and he's starting every weekend and every game, you could just see him growing before your very eyes, man. It's just he's looking at the game differently now. He's being a little more serious about scouting reports and things like that, and it's really been fun to watch. And he's been great behind the plate. And Dubovic, I could see him as a 5-tool center fielder one day. We got a very talented outfield right now, but that he's DHing. But next year he'll be one of those outfield spots. Losing Williams and Galvin, he'll have one of those spots out there in the outfield. But those guys have played a lot. They've got a lot of at-bats. And Milano, I guess nothing phases him. He, like I said, he always came to practice. He's behind an All-American that's going to play every single day. I mean, Daniel Cuvée could have gone 0 for 30. He's still going to start. And he knew that. He had to have known that. And still, he shows up to practice with a smile on his face, works hard. He just really enjoyed being here and just waiting for his opportunity. Probably thinking his opportunity is going to come next year. And, lo and behold, it came, a month and a half earlier, and he was ready for it, man. And you love, as a coach, you love that. You love guys like that having success.
Hey, so you had all these talented freshmen come in. I always wonder this. Do you pick up on, you kind of pencil in some of the older guys that have some experience that are coming in, maybe transfer portal guys. Then all of a sudden you go, holy crap. You look at your coaching staff and go, these guys, they got a little different makeup to them. It's like a rookie in football comes right in, and you're going, man, I didn't know he was going to show he's going to be this good this early. Were you surprised by that a little bit when those guys get to campus?
There's always an element of surprise because you just don't know. They come in, they're ultra talented. You just don't know. Number one, how they're going to deal with failure right away. They've never failed probably in their lives. In baseball anyway.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're going to deal with that. You don't know how they're going to deal with not being in the lineup. So the talent's there. The makeup is something that, as much as you can talk to these guys on the phone until you spend real time with them and watch them deal with adversity, you just don't know. You just don't know. So I knew they can play. These guys, they just came in and really didn't back down from, okay, you got, like Dubovic, we got Williams out there, Torres, Peralta, Galvin. Okay, I'm not going to play this year. Like, that wasn't the attitude. He was out there trying to take someone's job.
Right.
And you love that.
Yeah.
You love that.
Oh, yeah.
And Max, Max was, when he went down early this season, that kind of opened the door for Dubovic, and he just, went on a tear in the beginning. And when Max came back, it was really a struggle for me and the coaches. Like, how do we get this guy or keep him in the lineup? And then an injury to Brian West kind of open the door again for him, and he's kind of run away with it, man. So, and then of course Sosa not being able to throw, and having to move him to first base, all those things kind of culminate in opportunities for these guys, and that's something athletes they just don't realize. They just feel like they're behind somebody, and they're like, okay, it's not my year, just kind of coast through this. Or so many different variables can open up a door. It's not just the guy that's behind you. So, lesson learned, right? For hopefully these guys, some of our other young guys are learn the lesson and just be ready to go when name is called.
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun to watch starting Friday night. Hey, speaking of, I can jump ahead because I don't have to worry about that Troy game, but the Florida Gators, who once again have one heck of a team. You saw them early in the season. I know things are a lot different. One of the reasons because the guys you're talking about right now, but the Gators seem to always have great pitching. What do you see from this Florida Gator team playing at home?
They're really good, man. They're really good on the mound. And offensively, they're opportunistic and take advantage of mistakes, like any good team does. You give them more than 27 outs, you're going to run into problems, man. So you can't give them extra outs. And on the mound, they're strong. They're strong. Their starting pitching is good. Their bullpen is good. They got some good left-handers in the bullpen and some power throwing right-handers. So it's a really good team. And look, our history against them, it is what it is. It's not great, but these guys, it's a different team every year. So when you talk about the history and you can run through, what's our record been over the last 10, 15 years, that's more on the coaches, because the coaches have been here, not the players. The other ones are on the field. So I can care less about the history. This year is all that matters. We played them tough. So again, both games were tied in the 8th inning. Things didn't go our way. So they're a tough team. But anywhere we would have gone, Joe, it would have been a tough team. We were facing a tough environment.
That's right.
It doesn't matter to me. And I've been in sports long enough to know you don't wish to play somebody or wish not to play somebody. You compete against the team that they put in front of you and get after it. So you start hoping to play with somebody, and those are the ones that come back and get you,
Hey, yeah. No, listen, man, it's going to be a fun one about it. I think I can just tell, talking to you, feel a lot more confident with this 38-18 team, and got off to a good start in the tournament. By the way, I did not realize how good the Georgia Tech team was, not just their game against you, but overall as one of the favorites to win this whole thing. Had no idea North Carolina and Georgia Tech were so good.
You know what? They asked me after the Georgia Tech game what I thought of, their lineup and, ranking their lineup. And I said it was a good one. We faced a lot of good lineups. But going back and really looking at the game and the film, and I'm like, okay, it's a little different. It's a little different. And again, it's talented. When we face a lot of great talented lineups, but they are so disciplined and they have a plan and they go up there and they stick to their plan. And like anything else, when you make the mistake and you throw what they're looking for, they don't miss it. They just don't miss it. It's impressive.
It is amazing, man. It truly is. Hey, real quickly too, the recruiting side of stuff. How good is South Florida right now in baseball for high school?
It's up and down. They got some young guys that are good. That's still a couple years away. The senior class is done, and guys are going where they're going. And in South Florida, it depends, right? You're talking Dade County, Broward County. I think Broward County might be a little stronger right now, but it's still very good.
Yeah.
Still very good.
Well, I tell you, you watch watching MLB Network, and every time somebody's on, they go, "Oh yeah, he went to such and such high school in South Florida." I go, "Oh my gosh, man, we don't talk enough about how many great players come out of South Florida to end up in the big leagues." Hey, JD, man, thanks for coming on, brother. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it.
All right, JD Arteaga, Miami Hurricanes head baseball coach, joining us this morning. Sounding pretty confident, man. Love it. So Rob Evans most likely gets a start. AJ Siskar gets the Gators, it looks like, to start with. All right. Hey, listen, we've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on. But before we do, I do want to take a second this morning to tell you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Man, I'm telling you right now, it's the experience. It's the work ethic. It's a service that you're going to get. It really is. People, why would I go there and not here? Well, Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, a man has no life. This man is working to get you approved so he can get the paperwork done and get the whole process started, which gets you approved a lot faster, especially in debt consolidation. You need that cash, and hey, maybe whatever the reason it is, you need a second mortgage. Michael Kotze can get it done for you. Always going to get you the lowest rate. You got first-time home buyers with very little money down program for you. And always the best rates you can get out there. And I always tell everybody, go to Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage reviews, and find out what they're saying about Michael Kotze. Hey, one of the things he does better than anybody, it's one of the hottest mortgages we have, is a reverse mortgage, more popular than ever. You and your spouse are 62 or older, and you qualify. And if you got all this equity built up in your home, you paid it off or almost paid it off, and through the years, it's just worth a lot. You could really use that money. Call Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. One of the many specialties that he has to get it done quickly for you. The man's always working 7 days a week. Call or text him, 561-441-2730. It's 561-441-2730, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change, daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender with 30 years of experience, ready to make sure you have a good experience with Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage.
no signs of prediabetes.
Now, the new home of the two-time World Series winner, Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less for your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at DoralKia.com. Starting with the Marlins, who beat the Blue Jays 8-2 to get their fourth straight win. Game 2 of the 3-game road series is tonight with the first pitch at 7:07. And the game can be heard right here on WQAM. And the Hurricanes were selected to the Gainesville Regional. Miami will play Troy on Friday. In the NBA, the Knicks blew out the Cavs 130-93, earning their first trip to the NBA Finals in 27 years. Tonight, the Thunder will host the Spurs in Game 5 with their series tied at 2. To the Dolphins, who return for OTAs in Miami Gardens today. Mandatory minicamp is set to begin on June 2nd. And in the NHL, the Hurricanes took Game 3 from Montreal 3-2 in overtime to take a 2-1 series lead. Tonight, the Golden Knights will look to sweep the Avalanche. The puck drops there at 9. Time for weather, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate. We're in the mid-80s right now. Low chance of rain today. Joe, I did see that there's rain expected, heavy rain expected this week. So be prepared accordingly.
It's that time of the year, my man.
Yeah.
It's that time of the year. We're going to
speaking.
Start getting a lot of rain in the afternoons.
Speaking of that time of the year, somewhat unrelated, but we do have a great giveaway that we're going to be doing the rest of the week.
Okay.
Starting today. So whenever you're ready, we can do this here.
All right.
You want to do it now or you want to do it next segment? What do you want to do?
Do it right now. I'm like right now.
All right. So here's what we got. We got Sebastian Maniscalco coming to Hard Rock Live in November. We have a pair of tickets. We're also throwing in a Stoner's Pizza. So you get the tickets and a pizza.
That's great.
Can't beat that.
No.
This show will be, if it's not already, will definitely be sold out. He's very popular. Hawk turned me on to him like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago or something.
Okay.
Very, very funny. One of my favorites.
All right.
So I'm actually available to go. Whoever wins, they want to take me along.
And you can get a Stoner Pizza.
Yeah. But yeah, if someone wants to take me along, I'd be happy to. I know a guy that gets me a great table at any of the restaurants at the whole casino, so be all set.
Who do you know? Don't throw my name in there. Do not throw my name in there, man.
I wasn't. Why are you so full of yourself? I was going to say Monroe, but.
Okay, good.
Jeez.
Good. I thought you meant me. Throw my damn name around. No, Monroe County's the way to go.
I know you have pull.
Monroe County can do it all for you. No question about it. All right, good. All right.
So caller number 5, 305-567-0560. We'll get you in. This is one of the best prizes we've given out. I know you don't care, but this is a very good prize.
No, I didn't. Oh my God.
Well,
I'm
I know
not
you
saying anything.
Is there any chance I get you to watch one of his specials?
I just don't go to concerts there. I don't go to any of them.
Or comedy shows.
I know, but I don't go to anything there is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you
It drives
do.
my wife nuts. I don't go.
You don't go to the shows, but you do
I go there, of course.
Yeah. You're not a show guy.
I drink, I gamble, and I eat. Yes.
Yeah, you're not a show guy. We know that.
When I say gambling, slot machines, of course.
Yes.
Not the sports book.
Which is for the best because you're not very good at that stuff.
No, I'm not. Not that I need. Hey, by the way, man, it's just terrible news. I hadn't heard. Manny's been pretty private over the last few years, so really to know Manny Fernandez, the great defensive tackle on the no-name defense, has passed away. If you're just joining us, 79 years old. He had 17 tackles and 1 sack in that game against the Redskins. I don't know how he didn't win the MVP. 17 tackles from a defensive tackle. I don't know, and I know some other guys on defense had great games, but I don't know. 17 tackles and 1 sack that should do it. Can you imagine making that many plays? Hey, we have a linebacker has 17 tackles. We go crazy. So anyway, Manny, we lose a good one in Manny Fernandez, who he was a good guy. He jumped me one day. So the Sun Sentinel, Woody, I got to tell you this story. So I don't know who it was. The Sun Sentinel said, "Hey man, we're doing the all-time great team at every position." I go, "Oh man, I really don't want to do it." Come on, man. Would you do it for us? It's no big deal. Never do those when you're asked to do that. Never. It wasn't a group. They didn't ask like a group of us, and just go without a name. They put my name on it. So I put Bob Baumhauer at defensive tackle because Bob was also really good. And so they had the alumni back, and Manny shows up, and he sees me, and he's not happy at all. And he says, and by the way, I got hit by 3 or 4 guys at that thing. Now, I said I wasn't aware of all the 70s guys except the big name guys, and I didn't know what their numbers were and what they did. So Manny goes, "You put Bob Baumhauer ahead of me." And I go, and I know what he's going to say, but I knew he wasn't happy. I go, "Yeah, Manny." And he goes, "Joe." And he hit me with that 17 tackles and 28 and all the Super Bowls. And I was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Manny, I'm so sorry." I said, I told him when they asked me to do it, there are some guys, between the 70s and 80s that played. It's a difficult one. It's not easy. They didn't give me like 2 choices that, I was trying to backtrack and prevent defense. And he just walked away. And I was like, oh man. Oh gosh. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's a tough one to do, man. That's why you never want to get asked to do those.
When anybody asks you to do it and put your name on something, be sure that you go, "You know what? I'm probably going to pass on this one." That's not a good idea, because that was one great example. And then, there were a lot of other ones, because now you go with, Paul Warfield and Clayton and Duper, and you just can't go.
There's no wrong answer, but yeah, you're going to always upset someone. That's why a lot of those votes are anonymous.
Well, the other problem is the undefeated team is the undefeated team. That's sacred. That's sacred ground. Those guys did something's never been done. They never lost a game.
I don't think that'll ever happen again. I really don't see. Right?
No.
I mean, the Pats they got close, but
they're favored in the Super Bowl against the Giants by almost 2 touchdowns.
I don't see it ever happening, man. Especially now, like the league, it's so balenced.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like it's probably not going to happen.
I totally agree with you. By the way, I know people have asked, and so there's still some of the guys from the undefeated team, but the guys that I have recently seen And that doesn't mean there's not a whole bunch of guys that are still alive and doing well, but they're still, without getting into all the names of Warfield and Zonk and Grease and Little, and I saw Marv Fleming and Dick Anderson, and I haven't seen him in a while, but there's still a lot of other guys that live down here that still go to functions and that they show up. So, well, boy, I'll tell you what, that one is and Manny just packed one day late in life, and kids were already grown up, and he just said, I'm moving out of town. So I don't know where he moved. I'm guessing some hunting club or went someplace where he had a lot of land to see bears and deer and pigs and everything else that he really enjoyed. Anyway, our condolences go to Manny and any of his family out there and his teammates that I just got that. What time we get that? Just a little while ago that came out?
The Dolphins put it out officially this morning. I think it was overnight. Some places had that, but
everybody loved Manny Fernandez. He was a badass. He was a badass. Free. So the thing that people don't know, and I have learned, especially on one of those alumni cruises, just how wild those guys on that 72 team that went undefeated, those guys, they pushed the button on Shula. I mean, they pushed it hard. And he got after him. He didn't back down from him, but they had knockdown dragouts. And they were enjoying things, and that was they got after it pretty good, man. I'm just telling you, it was just crazy. So some of the stories have come out, and I know Kick and Zonk and Merck and those guys, and they had arguments with him, and they go at it pretty good. So I just thought it was pretty interesting. And Manny and the alligator thing is just unbelievable. That's got to be the greatest thing I've ever heard to do to Shula. Like, who would do that? You'd have to be really good to do that and then trust everybody that nobody would rat you out. Because I think the story goes he went to Jim Kick first, and he goes, is that real funny? You think? Because as soon as he got it, he went right out. They said he went out in a towel. And he was looking to let some guys have it. Now, he wasn't getting rid of any of those guys because they're all really good football players. But, boy, I hear some of those crazy stories. They're just wild. Hey, we got to go to break here, man. We got more stuff to get to here. And, damn, I hate to hear about Manny Fernandez. Age 79 passes away. All right, I want to talk about your South Florida Chevy dealers for just a second this morning. I love talking about the new cars, the new trucks, and the new SUVs, man. I do, and they've never looked better. We got an SUV absolutely perfect for you, and I'm just going to go through some of my favorites. Suburbans, you can't go wrong, man. You need unlimited space to get kids around. We got you. The Tahoe, same thing, man. I love my Tahoe. No kids, and I'm still driving a Tahoe. Traverse, again, we call it the baby Tahoe, but, man, it's got such great look to it. A little smaller, but, man, it got all the space you could ever want. The Equinox, you could go on and on with the great looks. And then let's talk about trucks. Hey, how about a rugged Colorado? No, check that. How about the highly capable Silverado 1500? Maybe you need the powerful Silverado HD. Hey, man, I'll tell you one thing about the truck family. I call it the great cleanup hitter of the Chevy family, is we got a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. Whether it's getting the kids around, need extra space there. Maybe it has to do with on the weekend towing the boat, towing the wave runners to really enjoy South Florida at its best. Chevy's a big part of it, man. Doesn't matter where you are. We got a Chevy absolutely perfect for you. Full-time working trucks, family trucks, and any other kind of truck you need, man, they've got it for you. Chevrolet with 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Together, let's drive.
If it's going
Come rock with Quiet Riot at Stage 954 May 30th. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at casinodaniabeach.com.
Before we get back to it, here it's time for your stock market report, brought to you by Anajar Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Market opens in about 7 minutes from now. The NASDAQ futures up 350 points. Dow futures up 170 points. S&P up 50. Best of luck to all players, Joe.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what, the knowledge of people on the text machine comes to Manny Fernandez, but a lot of things, just real knowledgeable people. And back then, you talk about only show in town. The 70s to have a great team and the only show. And there's talking a lot of people about knowing him. He was just one of the guys in the neighborhood and how good he was with everybody. And he was great. Those guys were great about going to charity events. I know. Hey, listen, I know times have changed. And you just can't call your neighbor and say, hey, can you bring 7 guys with you? Yeah, I'll bring all my buddies who come over. Just have some cold beer and we'll hang around all day. In those days, there's a lot of things going on, and popularity and everything has changed a lot. But I think the guys in the 70s and guys I play with took a lot of pride in going, I know, after practices and especially in the off-season workouts, and guys that all get together and go to events for different guys and different charity events. And there's a lot more out there now. And times have changed. We've got a lot of teams in town now from being the only show. Hell, the only other show was the Canes. Whatever was going on with the Canes, and then all the spring baseball teams that were down here. We had the Orioles in Miami. We had the Yankees in Fort Lauderdale. I believe in Pompano we had the Cleveland Indians, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a lot of the teams down here as well. But that was it, man. Spring training stuff was big down here. We were the Yankees were there. That was the coolest thing I'd ever been around, just as a baseball fan. And Woody, if I could have had their rookie cards for all the former Yankees that were there, and George Steinbrenner he'd invite all the stars of yesterday to come. Reggie Jackson would be there, and I'm going, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And then Whitey Ford was there. I mean, all the guys. And that was quite a show. And then, hey, at the same time, you got the Orioles with those great teams practicing at our facility, which is really weird. They had the 420 game winners and Cal Ripken Jr. and Eddie Murray. And I was like, good God, man. It was like, you couldn't believe it, how good the two teams were that we had in South Florida. So that was pretty cool. But now, man, we are big time. We've got all the sports down here. We got all the big events. We get Super Bowls. Until recently, I guess we've been told, at least for now, we're not getting. I have trouble believing we're not going to get another Super Bowl because of tennis courts and a track. I really don't buy it. I'm having trouble drinking that Kool-Aid. I do know we're going to get national championship games and semi-championship games when they figure out whether they're going to go to 16 or 24 or somewhere in between to figure this thing out. But getting back to Manny, really, really cool to see some of the comments coming in. See a guy says he was our neighbor in Miramar in the 70s, and just really cool stuff. Really, really good stuff coming in. A lot of sports stuff. You guys have done your homework and are big fans, and we appreciate it, man. We definitely appreciate what you've done. By the way, Marlins, all of a sudden the Braves leave town and they beat up the Mets, get 3 games there, sweep them, and then get their first game in Toronto on a 9-game road trip and 8 to go. But again, nice 8-2 win against the Blue Jays and sneaking back towards 500 again. Not far from that. And so we'll see how they do on this 9-game road trip. And then the other news, of course. What do you feel good about this, Giannis? We've talked about it so long. Like,
I mean, no, I don't, because I feel like we do this every offseason. And
I think Giannis could really help himself, though.
Well, Giannis can do what he wants now, but
Giannis is like, hey, I want to go to Miami.
He seems like he's trying so hard to not be a villain in this
it's
whole
too late.
thing.
They've already spread stuff about him.
I know, but
he's not the guy you think he is. But he's really good.
I wonder what, like, if you took a percentage of, like, let's say NBA All-Stars, like, what percentage of those guys do you think are doing all this stuff, showing up late, stay where they want to stay on the road?
Need extra tickets, extra parking spots.
I'm guessing 100% of them, if I had to, right? I'd guess, but yeah, Giannis seems like he has tried throughout his career to not be a villain. Because I just don't think he wants that role. Right? He does seem like a nice guy from.
Yeah, he comes across. Yeah. He loves playing. He plays hard. He gets hurt, but he plays hard.
Yeah. Definitely not an issue there. But yeah, I mean, do I feel good about it? Man, we talk about one of these guys that they key in on every offseason.
I just look at everybody and.
Remember, it's Kevin Durant or it's Damian Lillard. All these guys, it's a lock. Miami's getting them.
I don't want those two guys. I want this.
Well, I know you don't. I'm just saying that this has been the past handful of off seasons. They kind of key in on a guy. He'd end up being the favorite.
Keep Bam and
they don't get him.
Add Giannis and.
This would be so big for that franchise, and I don't know that it makes them some sort of title contender.
He's clearly your best player, right? Day one, like
no
welcome.
question.
You're it.
It would be a reset almost, right? Like just a refresh of what's going on over there. And hey, man, the East is so weak right now. Like I think Knicks are a good team. I don't want to take away from what they've done.
You're waiting to see the drama clears in Boston to see what's going to happen between their two superstars.
That's another one. I'm guessing though.
Work it out
to coexist, I would imagine.
I do want to get ready. Those two come back, you're always in the discussion to go to the finals, which is good for your fan base and good for business. So I don't know. I feel good about it, man. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Riley. There's no question now. Riley may think they're getting a little piggish with their offer and may say, no, you can't have this much. But they also understand how important it would be to get this guy. So but it would help if Giannis was doing what the other NBA guys that have forced their way out to the teams they want to go to.
He may very well be. I'm sure he is in the background, right?
Well, then how much? And is he trying to get to a team that
I just don't think he wants to be the guy that goes around in different cities and gets booed.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
But that might be a role that he doesn't want.
Listen,
certainly seems like he doesn't want that
He stayed in
role.
Milwaukee a lot longer than I thought because they haven't been very good. A little surprised.
Well, the NBA has changed too. I mean, remember like in the LeBron years, it was like, everyone just wants to go where it's nice and, good markets and this and that. But now the teams can pay you more if you stay, which certainly helps a lot. And you get, you look at the markets that are left.
Well, he's not staying there.
Look at the markets you had in the conference finals.
Cleveland,
outside of New York,
Oklahoma City,
Cleveland, Oklahoma City, and San Antonio are not the best basketball cities.
They look like you're going to be good for a while.
Yes, they do. That'd be a hell of a game tonight. Can I get your pick, by the way, really quick?
OKC tonight.
Big?
No bigs.
Well, it's 5.5 point
tie
spread.
ball game.
So you taking the Spurs? I mean, what are you doing here?
5.5.
Come on, man.
Yeah, OKC by more than 5.5. God, you just put me on. I feel like I'm at Hard Rock at a sports book with you sometimes.
You are.
Hey, we got more stuff to get to here this morning. Kyle Krabs, host of Locked On Fins and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports, going to join us. We're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins as they get set for another round of OTAs coming up next.
Game 2 of the Marlins Road Series with the Blue Jays tonight. Marlins on deck gets things going at 6:30. First pitch here at 7:07. We've got Marlins baseball, FM 104.3 WQAM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
The Joe Rose Show is